On a previous video, we created a summary age trial balance using SmartList. Now we'll create one using the Excel Refreshable Reports. In the administrative window, I'm going to click on Excel Reports on my navigation panel, and all my Excel Refreshable Reports are displayed. Now they must be deployed first, so see your partner or your IT person to help you deploy them. And I'm going to double click on the one for customers. This will be the same as clicking on the customer object in SmartList, and there are a great many fields you can see. So we could clean up this particular report, or instead let's use pivot tables and then create a pivot chart to look at the data. So I'll click on a new worksheet, insert, and pivot table. And for the range, I'll select all columns as they come out of the system in my worksheet. Now I prefer doing it this way because sometimes you might build a report and then having deleted a column that you later decide you need, and it's much more difficult than just creating it on a new spreadsheet or a new worksheet. So let's go all the way to the end. There are a lot of columns here, so we'll be able to get a lot of information out. Another nice thing is anyone you share this report with, if they know how to use pivot tables, they can actually access a lot more information that's stored in GP without having to be a GP user. Once I click OK, it takes me back to my second worksheet and the pivot table wizard. So let's start building our pivot table. I'll start by dragging the customer name down to the rows, and you can see them automatically populate. Let's then choose the customer balance and we'll put it in values. Now you'll notice it just did a count, and I want to change that so it summarizes. So I'll just click on the down arrow there near the count. I'll change it to sum, and let's change the name to balance and click OK. And now the balance displays. Now I want to add all of my aging periods, and you'll notice here they just say aging bucket 1 and 2. Like, let me drag it down and it automatically says aging bucket 1. Let's go back into Great Plains, under Sales, Setup, and Receivables. And here we can see our aging buckets names. So our aging bucket number 1 is called Current. So I'm going to just copy that, come in here, and when I change the value field setting to Sum, I'll change the name to Current. And let's do this for every aging bucket that we use. If the aging bucket you use is blank, then you do not need to add it to your report. So let's add aging bucket 3. We use all of the aging buckets in the Fabricam company. And the nice thing about Excel Refreshable Reports, oops, I used the wrong one a while ago, is that this is the only time that you have to do this modification. From this point forward, you can simply go through and just update the data, or just click on refresh and the data will be updated for you. Let's pull this one up, change it to sum. This one's 90 to 120 days. Aging bucket 5. Change the value here to sum. And this is 121 to 150. Aging bucket 6. Gotta love cut and paste. We'll change that to sum. This in. Now you'll notice that because we're using the aging buckets as they are in GP, it's extremely important that you run the aging process. I can't stress that enough. If you do not run the aging process, this report will not be valid. So now you have this lovely little aging report, and let's change all of these to be $1. You have this lovely aging report that you can use and administer to people, and all they have to do is click on data and refresh data, and it's updated every time. Now let's get a little bit more specific. First of all, we don't need any customers with 0 balances. So let's come back over to our pivot field list and put customer balance in the report filter, and now we can come in and be real specific as to who we don't want it to include. Okay, So that's pretty nice. You might want to make sure that gets updated on a regular basis, or you may want to update it on the spreadsheet itself. Another way to do it would be to come into the worksheet where the data was put in the first place, find the current balance, and let's see if I can find the current balance. And from here we may want to tell it, put in a custom search so that it knows never to exclude the 0, and then that way to make it a little bit easier. Alright, now one thing I want to do here is I'm going to unselect all of these and just grab a few so that we're just looking at a smaller data set. Okay, now we can also put this in a nice chart format by simply clicking on here, anywhere in the top section, and we'll get our pivot table tools. And from here I can click on Options, Pivot Chart, and choose a chart, and the data will automatically be charted for me. Now isn't this, whoops, just wanted to spread this out. This is a really cool way to see the data. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Hope this helps.